Getting better at beat-em-ups sounds like a simple task. All you have to do is go right while defeating swarms of enemies. It doesn't have the same moveset complexity as its video game cousin, the fighting game, and like fighting games, it's been around since as long as I can remember. Bet you didn't know that Double Dragon and Street Fighter came to the arcades the exact same year. So what's the problem? Well, if you look for even the most minute detail on how to improve at a fighting game, you'll be drowned in how-to content, ranging from movement to philosophy. So where is all the content on how-to for beat-em-ups? It's barren. I blamed myself, so here we are. I'm Anthopants, and this is Getting Better at Beat-em-ups. It's easy to find typical terms on how you should improve, like, you just have to practice, don't get hit, get good. But it's hard to put those typicals into action when you don't have a lesson plan. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Give you a lesson plan. My 5 lessons on how to practice. To not get hit. To you, getting good. I will be focusing on Streets of Rage 4 since it's the new kid on the block. But don't worry, these are the fundamentals that I use every time I play a beat 'em up. And although some of these will sound silly, trust me, you'll understand once you put them into practice. Lesson number 1. Move up or down. Beat-em-ups have a knack for tricking you into attacking, to always be on the offensive. Line up with your enemy and go to town, but this attitude will get you into trouble. Sometimes the most effective tool to staying alive is to simply move. Let them punch the air. Other than the practical use of dodging an attack you otherwise would have been hit by, it also gives you a sense of what types of attacks and timing the enemy uses. Beginner practice. Go into training mode and make Donovan miss 10 attacks by using nothing but up, down, left, and right. Pro practice. Beat stage 1 in the streets. The catch is, you can only defeat an enemy after you've made them miss an attack. Oh, and you can't use jump. Like, there's just not at all. There's no way. Well, except to recover after being thrown or after you grab them. But none of this. No jumping. Moving isn't just the Streets of Rage 4 thing. Here's TMNT, Hyperstone Heist. D&D, Shadow over Mystara. Lesson 1 is a technique that works in most beat-em-ups. Lesson number 2, do nothing. I told you they would sound silly. Do nothing doesn't sound like much, but it actually requires a lot of focus to get good at. So, what is it? It is the time between. It's when the enemy is making their move and you are watching what they are doing. Streets of Rage 4 is an offensive game, so you'd think you'd want to be non-stop pressing buttons. Nothing to show for all that action, but watch this. First, I watch what the enemy is going to do. Big Ben jumps, coming in large with the belly slam. I jump. We miss each other. Nothing happened. Both health bars intact. Now, same thing, but let's add a little something after all that nothing. Think small. The smallest thing you can do is move, and we've got that lesson figured out. The next is to jump. Jumping in Streets of Rage 4 lets you dodge. It's not just a way to move in for the attack. Bet you didn't know you could jump through a kickboxer's knee. Or do this. Or this. Beginner practice. Go into training mode and use jump to dodge Big Ben's jump. Dodge him 10 times. Pro practice. Go into training mode and practice jump dodging these enemies. In case you didn't know, you have a little bit of movement after a neutral jump. Some games have a built-in block system, like Fight and Rage. I'd also consider these to fall under Do Nothing, since you're waiting for an attack. Successfully blocking an attack fills your special meter and gives you a free special attack. Lesson 3, get them on the ground. You've learned your big combo, but you haven't learned how to stop using it, and because of that, the enemies keep breaking you. Streets of Rage 4 has a variety of single-hit attacks that don't cost health, that put enemies on the ground so you can deal with enemy 2 sneaking up on you. It is the enemy you cannot easily knock down that is your priority. Don't get hit from behind, put them on their behind. Beginner practice. Go into training mode, load 2 Galzias and get them on the ground with jump attacks 5 times, charge attack 5 times, and back attack 5 times. Try not to get hit. Pro practice. Go into stage 1 the streets and use nothing but jump, charge, and back attack. Just so you know, Adam doesn't knock down with a charge attack, Estelle doesn't knock down with a back attack, nor does Shiva, and Streets of Rage 1 characters don't have a charge attack. Golden Axe enemies love to swing around to your back, probably the best example of utilizing your fast knockdown attack so you don't get overwhelmed. Lesson 4. Stun enemy 1 to the beat of enemy 2. Stun locking has been around since before you were born, and when you're a youngster to beat 'em ups, you'd probably think that you're dealing with this enemy here, but you're not. That's right, just like in Get Them on the Ground, you're actually dealing with the enemy you don't have. I am timing my attack so that I can stun enemy 1 and hit enemy 2 once he comes in. Beginner practice. Go into training mode, spawn 2 Galzias, get both Galzias in the same punch spam 10 times. Pro practice. Go into stage 1, the streets, and beat it while using only your punch. No charge, no jump, no special, no star. Stun locking was prominent in the original Streets of Rage games. Streets of Rage 4 forcing a knockdown if you try to stun lock for too long, but it also exists in other beat 'em ups. In Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist, you can stun lock with a running shoulder. Lesson 5. To beat easy, play on hard. Maybe you're playing on easy or normal, maybe on hard or mania, but you're having trouble getting through it. What should you do? Turn the difficulty up to Mania Plus, or the highest you can go. But not with the intention of beating the game. Play in Mania Plus for an hour, maybe try to beat a stage if you're choosing, the one that's been giving you trouble. When you go back to your original difficulty, the game will feel much simpler. Even though it will feel easier, you still have to put the effort in, so don't get too relaxed. Beginner practice. Play a stage of your choosing on Mania Plus for an hour. It's not about beating the stage. Use the increased difficulty as a tool for getting better. If you do beat it within the hour, go to the next stage. Pro practice. You've already beat Mania, but Mania Plus is giving you trouble. Or you just want the next challenge. Try to get a perfect on a stage of your choosing. I'd suggest stage 3. If you're looking for a playthrough, that's what the mods are for. I'd suggest Bragdras's Ultimate Simulation mod. Hong Kong Key created the Streets of Rage 4 swapper, which allows you to randomize your game. I'll leave a link down below where you can learn and get what you need to mod your game. In the arcades, some people would never use a continue. It was a way to stretch your quarters, since the starter levels are easier, but also a technique to perfect your game. I used this very method, also known as a one-credit clear, while learning Dungeons and Dragons, Shadow over Mystara, eventually finishing the game, no death.
Get him!
Lesson Infinity, the river. The river has nothing to do with beat 'em ups, nor does it have anything to do with you. I am the river, or at least that's the way I like to think of myself. And I'm not this river here, I'm this river. My final tip. The last lesson I'm going to tell you about me, so you can better understand you. They'll tell you to stay back, relaxed, don't lean forward. I play better leaning forward. Pretty much all my best playing, my great accomplishments, I'm leaning forward. So, why do they tell you not to lean forward? I'll tell you why. I may not know this, but I do. It's harder to breathe while leaning forward, and oxygen is good for your brain. If my playing got worse while leaning forward, I'd adjust, but that's not the case. They say to stay relaxed. I play terrible while relaxed. I tried meditation and found that it made me calmer, less neurotic, slower to anger, peaceful, and my playing was absolute garbage. I'm a neurotic, anxious volcano of a human being. That's how I play, with intensity and insanity. I'm this guy. I take what I am, a wild, raging river. I take all that energy and hopefully flow it in the direction of victory.
Nice run, dude.
Here we go.
Good run.
And time.
And that's world record. Nice.
You're not me. You can't do things the way I do. You have to take what you are and make the best of it. Find your bad habits and get rid of them. I then find what's a core aspect of who you are as a person and learn to flow with it. I'm telling you that you can be peaceful, angry, intense, or calm and play a great game, but only if that's what you are. I'm always going to be angry and happy, intense, neurotic, passionate, insecure, reliable, loyal, an unrelenting madman, and a complete contradiction. A silly man with stupid ideas that sometimes sound intelligent. Now all you have to do is figure out who the heck you are, and how do you turn all that into a victory. You're not capable of everything. They may tell you that you are, but that's not correct. You're limited. We all are. But I guarantee you are more capable than you think. To prove that this madman can sometimes sound intelligent, I'll leave you with this. All the comments in the middle don't matter, so long as you were the first and last person to say what you can do. Don't let anyone take that away from you. I don't play beat-em-ups all the time, and when I'm not, I'm usually helping my brother Peter make movies. His first film, Confined, is coming out February 4th, 2022. Our goal is to get 5,000 views, so if it looks like your thing, we sure would appreciate the support. I'll leave a link down below where you can keep up to date on it. I'm Anthopants, and thanks for getting better at beat-em-ups with me.